Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sood YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk about exhibitions and share some tips with you on how you can get the most from your upcoming events. Exhibitions for me are a very good way to grow your business and a very good way to get your brand out there, provided you've selected a relevant one for you. One of my top tips when it comes to exhibitions, and a lot of people might find this controversial, is no chairs on your stand. Too often, I'll walk around an exhibition or an event and people will be sat down on the phones and not engaging with the customers or prospects that are walking by. For me, this is a major issue and it happens more often than not. I suppose for me, it's slightly different because I would go to an exhibition or exhibit as a business owner, whereas larger corporations might send people down and it is their job effectively, but they're getting paid to be there regardless of how many leads they generate or how many conversations they have. That brings me on to my second point. Have meaningful conversations with the right type of people. So how can you do that? Qualify the lead. In your head, have a list of questions that you can ask someone to qualify if they're worth talking to or not. And this doesn't mean that everyone you meet is not worth talking to if they don't answer yes, 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 and yes to all of your questions. But just treat it cautiously because you are there for a specific amount of time and you will find people who'd love to chat and they might actually end up wasting more of your time. And a prospect could just slip by and walk past because you were engaged in the wrong type of conversation. Understand who you want to speak to quickly, ask the questions, and make sure to politely move on if you're not speaking to a relevant person. They might be students, they might not have a business, they might be in the wrong industry, but they still like to have a chat and they like to come for freebies, so be cautious of that. This is a bit of a different, I don't know how to describe this. This is a bit of a unconventional tactic that I like to do. But when you're at an exhibition and you are an exhibitor, I like to just stand in the walkway. I find that when you have these big expos and these big fancy stands, people almost are expected to come and walk into your environment. And, 5 out of 10 people might just ignore that whole, fancy decor and sofas and whatever you might have and all this wonderful stand. And they just might carry on walking. And you might have missed, again, a prospect that you want to talk to. So, one thing that I like to do specifically, stand in the walkway and talk to people, qualify them, speak to them, and then bring them in if you need to speak to a colleague to learn a little bit more about them. But if you don't block them or stop them or engage with them, they're just going to walk by and you never know, you might have missed a really good prospect or a client that could have worked with you. I think arguably the most important thing is to obviously have meaningful conversations, but then follow up in a relevant way. Try and take some notes about what you spoke about at the expo to said person or individual, and make sure you grab their business card or email address. You do get these fancy scanners, but I don't necessarily like them. When you get a business card, you can scribble on the back of it some notes and some reminders to prompt the conversation. Hey, so lovely to meet you. Really love what you're doing over here at this business. It'd be great to connect for a coffee. That type of follow up is so easy, but it's a bit more meaningful. Fun. Good to meet you at the expo. Let's grab a coffee because you've thought a little bit more about it and you showed some care and attention. So if you can, take a little bit of time, take some notes on the person, and make sure to follow up after the event. Earlier on, I did say choose the right expo. So how do you know the right expo for your business or yourself? Research. Make sure to do your research. See what other companies are exhibiting there. Are they clients of yours? Are they competitors of yours? So if a lot of your competitors are usually going to one event, you might want to spend the money and join them. It's a good opportunity to speak to people and showcase what makes you different. So yeah, they are my tips, tricks, hopefully something interesting on events and something you can take to your next exhibition with you. And if you have any questions, as always, let us know in the comments below and we'll get back to you there. Take care.